Is there any way that I can... Yes. Ready? Deal 27 damage X times, double X if it's 4 or more. We are a little strong. Today we are going to be playing Slay the Spire 2 as the Regent, the by far, Regin, the by far worst character of the game. Game just had a pretty big update, so I'm gonna be excited to see how that goes. And I'm actually gonna take a second and put my headphones on because I just realized if I don't, you are going to hear the game coming through my speaker. So right away, I actually love my possible selections here, mostly because I really like this one. Transforming some of your strikes into defense is like the best thing you can do, because it just thins your deck. And losing 10 max HP barely matters because I'm starting at 60 anyway. Now, my strategy for this game is always very simple. I look at the map real quick, I draw a rocket, whoa. And then I'll try to just go to either where I see the most elites or I see the most question mark areas, because doing regular combats is almost always a waste of time. Or at least you're not going to be as strong as you could be. Well, here we go. Now, at some point what I'd like to do is get every single character all the way up to the highest difficulty, but that's a pretty big ask, because these difficulties get pretty brutal. With these slugs in particular, when you kill one of the slugs, the other one gets stunned so that it can eat the slug that you just killed. Yeah, so that can prevent an attack, and then it makes it so that you have a little bit more time to win. Luckily, because I got really good luck with my random transforms, didn't even have to worry about it. First big choice here. I really like Shining Strike because it makes it a lot more consistent to gain energy, but Gather Light is a very strong block card. I think I could go either way, but let's actually see. I think I'm going to take Shining Strike because my transform gave me Astral Pulse, which is a star cost card. Now, why did I say Regin is the worst? It's because I just find that he has so many things that need to go right to win a run, compared to other characters where their win condition is just very strong. Like, you're more likely to hit their win condition more often. I'm getting really good luck. So I always prioritize, by the way, not taking damage over dealing damage, unless I can just kill the thing like that. Gonna take Devastate, 30 damage for 4 points, not bad. And that's where I'm already really liking my choice to take Shining Strike, but now I want some defend cards, or I want to get rid of some of these strikes. But yeah. These enemies give thorns, which means they deflect damage back at you. But you can actually block the thorns damage, if you didn't know. Makes them a lot easier. Other than that, I've just kind of had on my mind something that I really wanted to talk about, but I didn't really want to make a video on. And I figured this would be a good game to sit and play because, it's very... you've got as much downtime as you want, basically. And at the moment I'm considering if I want to even take any of these. I don't believe I do. Yeah. So I've had kind of just this thought on my mind of the idea of just start. So what I mean by that is a lot of people, and I'm really saying a lot of people, but I mean me, but I'm sure that others struggle with this because, no experience is that unique for the most part, right? But I always struggle with kind of trying to wait for the perfect time, and I try to make things as good as I can. There's a good block card, speaking of, before I feel confident kind of like doing it. And I've realized recently that that's really holding me back in life and in general. Like, I want to get good at so many things, but it's scary to do stuff. And then because it's so scary to do something, like, you kind of try to optimize it so that it's perfect. We're going to make it so this replays and gives me 10 block, by the way. But then in trying to optimize it so it's perfect, you're really just finding excuses to not do the thing. This shows up very often. This is barely an upgrade. This shows up very often with, like, going up and approaching people that you want to try to flirt with, or starting a business. Like, if you want to start trying to sell something. I'm going to actually upgrade this because it replays, by the way. If you want to try to sell something, like, you can keep refining it and trying to make it perfect, but at some point, you need to settle for good enough and say, okay, what I've made is going to give value. And that's, like, I think hitting that point where you're confident enough to do that is one of the hardest parts. So recently I've been having this issue with, awesome. I've been having this issue with my videos where I'm trying to always script it and make them really good. And obviously I want to make good content. No one wants to make bad content, I hope. But there's also a level to it where it's like, I need to just trust in my ability to talk into the mic, and also trust that if it's not great, it's not the end of the world. Like, don't disqualify yourself from doing something just because you're nervous to do it. You will find that, one, for the most part, people will respect the effort. And two, that as you get used to it and do the thing, it stops being scary. It really does. And just for instance, like, I'm a programmer who I go out and I talk to people and I get work. A lot of the time I work with smaller businesses and, like, I'll help them fix up their website for like $1,000. So I have to find my own clients, and I've been doing this since I was 20, so 6 years now. Yikes. Out myself, why don't I? I don't really like any of these cards. Maybe this one I'll take. But when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing, right? Like, I was not confident at all. But I started getting work, and what would happen is I would tell someone, oh, I can do this. And then because I would say I could do it, I had to do it. And you'll find that if you're someone who's prone to overthinking a lot, one of the best things that you can do is remove the ability to overthink. I wish I used Shining Strike there, it would have been very nice. But how do you remove the ability to overthink? You just start. Like, that's it. You just start. Start doing the thing that you want to do, and trust that it'll be good enough. And trust that even if it's not great, you're learning, and you'll get better. And I can't kill this thing, so I'm just going to dump my damage into this guy and move on with life. So as long as you're trusting that you're learning and that you're going to get better, you do improve. Like right now, I'm playing Slay the Spire, which is a fun game, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit in a bit. But, like, I've been wanting to talk about this idea of just doing the thing for a while now. And why haven't I? It's because I've been trying to think, like, how do I make this video? How do I make this perfect video? As opposed to just doing it. Like, I think it's very easy to get in your own head and kind of get stuck on the idea of perfection. But what's the best way to word this? You don't overcome, add an injury to your deck, and I want greater rewards. You don't overcome fear, I guess, and anxiety by thinking harder. You overcome it by doing. Like, the absolute best thing that you can do if you're feeling anxious is just do something. Because by doing something, you remove the ability to be afraid. Or even if you are afraid, you're already going. Most of the time, you're not going to stop in the middle of whatever you're doing. Because it's easier to just do it. The only way out is through, as they say. Is there any way that I could not take damage here? No, I think I'm cooked because of my own choices. Yeah. And that's kind of put on the show, you know? Like, start the performance and don't give yourself time to be afraid. And then trust that it's not that deep and people won't care too much anyway. Like, the people who do care a lot probably don't matter, and the people that really respect you are just going to be glad that you're doing something that you're happy about. And, you know, I think there is a lot to be said for that. Like, don't be afraid to just kind of do something, and if it's not great or it doesn't land, it's okay. Now let's talk a little bit about the Regin, and we might come back to this, because I actually recently had a dance showcase where this whole idea was really good. So with the Regin, why do I think he is the worst character in the game? Well, put pretty simply, he's just really hard to get a good deck with that is consistent. He's got a second resource, first of all, these stars. So some of his cards have these star effects, and they cost a resource outside of energy that you have to have in order to use those cards. So already, like, with every other character, you're juggling how much block you have in a turn, how much damage you deal, and how much energy you have. With this guy, you've got a fourth resource that you need to take care of. And it's very easy to mess up. And if you do mess it up, you're kinda cooked. On top of that, he doesn't have a very strong gimmick. Like, the Silent has the ability to discard cards and then have those cards be played anyway, which gives you a lot of free resources. The Ironclad has some pretty crazy builds that you can get going with losing HP, and then whenever you lose HP, like, it gives you benefits. Whereas, and then don't even get me started on how good the Necrobinder is, because that character is insanely strong in, like, every way. But Regent has a lot more things that need to work for his builds to be good. So one of the builds that you can do is generate colorless cards, which are the gray cards. I find these are just, you're kind of playing a slot machine. Like, it's not a consistent build to try and make those work. The other thing that you can do is a star-based build, which is what I have right now, where you generate stars, usually with Shining Strike or something similar, and then you use those stars to use the cards that are good. But that can be really finicky, because if you draw your cards in the wrong order, you'll have all of your big high damage star attacks that you can't actually use because you didn't get your cards that let you generate stars yet. So, like, with this character, I feel like you're always just one bad draw away from having a horrible, horrible run. His other gimmick is this Forge ability. So if you've noticed some of these cards say Forge, that gives you this card, Sovereign Blade, and the way that that card works is it stays in your hand, and its damage increases for every Forge that you do. So if you have, it starts at 10, and if you Forge 6, it goes to 16. then 22, and then 28, or if you forge 10, it goes up to 38. Super cool card, right? Like, you'd think, oh, that's really good. Only problem is, the cards that give you forge are they're very delayed. Like, you're basically banking on getting a big turn eventually, which is not a strategy that I like at all. It's satisfying when it works, but the biggest issue is that sword card costs 2 energy. So, on a turn where you get it, you're only gonna have 2, you're only gonna have 1 energy to work with for defense unless you pulled some cards that cost 0, or you pulled some cards that give you more energy. There's just a lot of ways this character can go wrong. That said, I think he's really cool at the same time, because I keep finding myself playing him, but I do think that of the characters, he is the weakest. So, how do I make him work? Well, partly by just hoping I get lucky. No character in this game is bad if you get a god run. That's just kinda how it works. I've had really good luck so far with the ability to transform my cards. I got, I think, good luck with that. I've got an early Shining Strike, which is hard carrying. I can weaken this thing. Not really crazy worthwhile, but not bad. And then I've got Gather Light, and yeah, like, I just have a lot of good things going at the moment. And those good things are making it possible to actually kind of stat check my way through these different fights, even if this character doesn't have anything really going on that's carrying me through this. I mean, right now I have 12 stars, so that's good. And that's kind of the thing, because stars aren't like energy where they reset between turns. This can just happen, where you end up with dozens of them. And then you kind of sit here like, well, now what? Because you don't have any... It's a gamble, right? Like, if I bring a bunch of stuff that gives me stars, but I don't get any big star things, then all that stuff is wasted. But if I get a bunch of stuff that costs a lot of stars, but I don't get anything that generates stars, I can't use it. So, you know. Three good options here. Oh, by the way, drinking a coffee. I've really been enjoying making espresso lately. I've been trying and experimenting with different beans. I like dark roast and slightly burnt, because I feel like it adds a very nice flavor with mocha. And I like to add a little bit of chocolate. Really, I'm drinking fancy chocolate milk, but anyway. So, gain 9 block at the end of your turn. If this is in the top of your draw pile, play it. This can be very good. I don't have anything that moves stuff to the top of my draw pile. I do have quite a few things that give me extra energy. So I'm going to go with Heavenly Drill. Deal 10 damage X times, double X if it's 4 or more. I don't like Tyranny. I don't like the upgrade of Tyranny. That's all I could really say about it. Yeah, let's see. I also think, though, it's just important to have hobbies that kind of get you out and doing stuff. So, in my case, I really enjoy making videos. I feel like talking into the camera and recording playing a game is a lot more fun than just playing a game or killing the time doing nothing, and I like making things. So, because I know that I like to make and build things, it kind of made me feel like, okay, let's do stuff that is aligned with that. That way I feel good about it. I know one of my best friends really likes to play RuneScape, and he says it's because it's a permanent fixture. This just gets, he says it's because, like, anything he does is permanent that he builds, and I get that, but I don't know. I like when what I'm doing, I value... Trying to think of how to word this. I like when whatever I'm doing isn't just a time investment, but also a skill investment. So like with RuneScape, for instance, which is, an MMO, tons of grinding and all that, I really enjoyed the things that were skill-based, but I didn't care for stuff like getting a 99 in a stat. Because anyone can get to a 99, it's a matter of time. And because it's a matter of time investment and not skill investment, it never really clicked with me. I also like stuff, though, like dancing, actually. And let's talk about that a little bit, I suppose. Because I would like to bring it up. I recently danced in a showcase, just for my studio. So we picked a country that we wanted to do a dance from. We studied up how that country does whatever specific type of dance. And then we danced it. And I actually picked Japan because I'm a weeb. No. Because I wanted to dance with a fan, actually. And I thought that that would be, like, unique because I'm not really the type of person who loves showcase dancing. I prefer things that are more, like, spontaneous, you know? So, like, I enjoy social dancing, is what it's called. Where, like, you go to a dance floor and you dance with people. My options kind of suck. We're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna just take 7 damage and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. But even though this isn't my type of dancing, I was actually really nervous going into it. Like, it had me spooked, for lack of a better word. Like, the idea of getting in front of this crowd and dancing. We're gonna focus this guy because he's gonna deal more damage than this guy, even if it's only by 1. Never mind, we win. Okay, well, that was kind of sick. But I was super nervous going into it. I didn't feel like I was ready. And it just was one of those things, though, where I was like, well, alright, the way to do this is simple. Let's just do it. Like, what I do as my trick when I'm feeling really nervous is just breathe. Like that, deep breaths in, usually 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Use whatever count makes you happy if you want. I don't know that I like any of these cards, because, I'll actually take that for a little bit more draw power, but breathe, and then don't get in your own head. Tell yourself, I can do it, and just make a point of, alright, I'm going to do the best I can. And I'm going to do the best I can here. 75. Nice. Yeah, you don't want to give yourself the opportunity to be scared. So I felt completely fine, even though I knew I wasn't completely fine. Like, my hands were shaking, I could tell that I was super nervous, but at the end of the day, I was like, alright, get up there and do it because you said you would. Don't give yourself the opportunity to be afraid, just go. Do the thing. And this kind of comes back to it all. My point is, you are never going to feel ready. You become ready by doing the thing. Whatever that thing may be. If you want to be a YouTuber, or if you want to be a motivational speaker, and you're sitting here like, oh, I want to be a motivational speaker, like I want to help others raise themselves up, but I don't feel like I'm there yet, so I can't speak on it. That's not how people do it. You won't ever feel like you're good enough if you're waiting for the perfect moment. At 3 random, they're free to play this combat. What would be... This is awesome, yeah. Let that thing in. Give me a parasite. Anyway, you become ready by doing stuff that makes you uncomfortable. I mean, there's so many different sayings like this, like your growth is in the direction of your discomfort, right? Like, it's not a crazy new concept, but it's one that I really struggle with because I feel like when I listen to people that are life coaches talking about it, like they sound so put together and like they've already done the work. So I want to talk about it because I can tell you I've not done the work. I'm constantly looking at what I'm doing and wondering like, "Oh, is this good enough? Did I do it? Am I doing this justice? Am I speaking on this properly?" And like I can tell you that's one of the main reasons I don't upload more. I'm a perfectionist, but that perfectionism isn't actually serving me, right? Like I'm the reason I'm doing this or the reason I'm like that is because I'm nervous. And I know I'm nervous, but one sec, I need to do mental math and I apparently can't talk and do math. 12 plus 9. Okay, we can just barely kill this one. Anyway. But I'm using this idea of, oh, I'll make these videos perfectly how I want them as an excuse to avoid discomfort. Like, I'm nervous about uploading, even though I intellectually know it's not a big deal. And like, ideally, I have to get over that. If I want to be, like, what I want to be in life, deal 8 damage to all enemies 7 times. Sick. If I want to get to where I want to go in life, I need to just do the thing and trust that the right people will find it. And if I'm not good enough, eventually I will be. But you don't become better by trying to think about being better. You become better through iteration and doing it. And I mean, like, let's bring this back to video games for a second, because come on, if you're watching somebody play Slay the Spire, you're probably a nerd. I can promise you didn't get better at your favorite game by sitting there and thinking about how good you would be. Like, maybe you put in some dedicated effort, but for the most part, you improved because you played the game. I'm gonna take this actually. I feel like I'm starting to run out of good block cards. That's good. Start each combat with 10 block? Hell yeah. Doing really good on upgrades this run as well. Yeah, like, you get better by doing stuff. You get better by making effort. And if you're afraid to go up and talk to people, the best thing to do is go up and talk to people. Enchant an attack with Vigorous 8. Oh, I'm about to break this card. This is going to be one-shotting a boss. Anyway. Yeah, like, if anything that you're afraid of, but you want to do, the best thing to do is just do it. It's going to be scary. It's not going to be easy. But, like, trust me, it's worth it. Gonna take Patter because it's going to combine really well with the other thing I just got. And then I don't think I have any good power cards. So I'm actually going to remove... I want to remove something from my deck. Maybe Devastate, honestly. It's kind of a dead draw now. I'll keep it. I'll keep everything. It's fine. No reason to take a Sovereign Blade card. No reason to take more stuff. I'll actually take Know Thy Place because it exhausts, so it's really just a net positive. Is there any way that I can... Yes. Ready? Deal 27 damage X times, double X if it's 4 or more. We are a little strong. Oh, and Tungsten Rod, whenever you would lose HP, lose 1 less, that's really good. Yeah, that's really what I've been struggling with, and I'm recognizing that I'm using this idea of perfectionism to avoid doing stuff. And I'm trying to be better about it. Like, you don't want to sit there endlessly trying to refine. You need to just do whatever you're afraid to do. And trust that you'll become better at it if you really want to keep it up. Like, yeah, your first videos may suck. My first videos really suck if you go back and find them. God, I don't even know what they are. I think I actually talked about philosophy in the one. I don't feel like taking a ton of damage here, so we're gonna do this. But I was so afraid to speak into the mic. I remember I spent 4 or 5 hours just endlessly going and going in terms of like, oh, let me redo this recording. Let me do this. Let me do that. And it's just not worth it, like, you know? Let's do a quick little topic change while I continue on. This run is going pretty well so far, I will say. This is the best Regent run that I've had. That said, it could all end here because this guy is an ass. But it's not the worst. Not the worst. At the end of your turn, take 6 damage. So this boss gives you a choice every few turns. And that choice determines what he does. Vigor, your next attack deals 2 additional damage. Very important to note, that does not get consumed until you use it. And here is exactly what I was hoping for. I could use it here, or I can use these two and wait on that. I think I'm going to wait on this because I want to have that +8 buff on a bigger turn. But I can weaken him. And actually, let's drink the Snecko oil. Gain 2 energy. Put a card onto the top of your draw pile. From your discard pile to the top of your draw pile. Okay, I've somehow managed to make this a 0 damage turn through a lot of good luck. And retain your hand. Next turn, gain energy. Okay. Your next attack deals 2 additional damage. We are now in a very good spot. And he's also going to debuff me next turn, though, so we're not in the best spot ever. But drink the Flex Potion. Reason being, this is about to deal a lot of damage. It's worth it anyway. It's annoying I couldn't make him vulnerable first because it would have killed him, but still a good turn. I always feel like I have to take the take more damage one. Otherwise, you're typically in for a rough time. To the top of my draw pile. This is gonna hurt. This boss can very easily end runs. Gain 8 block. Or... Okay, so this can be really bad. I don't know if I can survive, regardless of what I do. 12 times 3 is 36. 8 block. I'm gonna lose 13. Tell me that I just lost. Because I can't kill him. Well, case in point, this is why I don't think Regent is very good. Ouch. I find trying to win as the Regent to be, honestly kind of exhausting. And here you could see I have beaten Ironclad. I think I had like a 4... I won 4 in a row with the Silent, because the Silent is just crazy good this game. I haven't lost with either of these two yet. I lost once with Necrobinder. I can't win with this character. You know, all the talks about philosophy and the idea of, like, look, you are enough the way you are, just do the thing aside. If you have any tips for winning with Regin, I can't win. I think that he's most of my, like, if I can find my stats, I think he's most of my runs and most of my losses. 2 wins, 17 losses. Well, no, Ironclad, I'm 11, 38 losses, but most of those Ironclad losses are from, trying to beat the last couple of Ascensions. But, like, look at the difference here. 2 wins, 17 losses, compared to 4 wins, 2 losses, and 2 and 1, and 2 and 1. Like, dude. Best streak of 4. Yeah, okay. So I lost my first Silent run, and dude, help. I can't make this character work. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to give a try, talk some philosophy, you know. And, kind of just be a person giving his opinion. I'm going to try and do daily uploads. Everything that I was talking about, like I said, I realized that I was using perfectionism and this idea of good enough to preserve my own comfort, as opposed to just doing what I want to do and trusting that I'll get better in time. So I'm still going to be making highly edited videos, but I'm going to be uploading more in between that. And also, like, I do work a full-time job. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to upload all the time, but, like, I'm going to at least try for 4 to 5 videos a week, and one video that I put a lot more effort into once every 2 weeks. That's going to be my attempt. The next video I wanted to do is actually on Slay the Spire. I was thinking, though, that I wanted to get all of my characters to Ascension 10 before I made the video, and the Regent is single-handedly getting in the way of that. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, especially if... Thank you so much for watching, especially if you've stuck all the way through to the end. And until next time, see ya. And actually, let me know if there's any games that you'd like to see me play. And or if you'd like to see me do this, but talk a little bit more about this game while I play, and not just philosophy. I think I was watching Northern Lion lately, and I kind of had a revelation of, like, you know, I'd like to make content like that. which means I should also start streaming. I need to end this video. It's been fun. It's been real. See ya. Imagine I wasn't recording after all that.